welcome to the Scavenger Hunt program. You come to here, which is the Trafalgar Math Program's teacher page. You log in. If you haven't logged in before, you put in your first name, last name, and a password, and there's an instruction video right here that will tell you how to do that. It brings you to the math programs page. Even though this isn't a math program, it's here. Scavenger Hunt. I've made a whole bunch of scavenger hunts, so they all appear here. If this is your first time here, you're just going to see a little box, a little empty box where you could put the name of the scavenger hunt that you want to build. I'm going to call this my test SH and save. We're brought to a page that looks like this where we can build our questions. Here's your first question. I'm just going to put in a little math question. I'm going to start off with an image. You're limited to the size of image that you can upload to 2 megabytes. It's bigger than 2 megabytes, shrink it down. I'm just going to go and get a little math question. You can type this stuff in. You could also speak it in. So I double click my function button and there it is. Everything I say is being written down. Find the length of side A, period. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth, period. The answer is 11.59 decimeters. 11.59 decimeters. Sometimes an answer might have more than one acceptable solution. But what if they want to write out decimeters in full instead of using the abbreviation? That should be acceptable too. What if they use the American spelling? These are all acceptable answers. And I separate my acceptable answers with hashtags. Don't worry about leaving a space. You can put a space or not. The program will take the spaces out. The last thing would be the location. You can set up all the locations at the end, or you can do them as you go along. It doesn't really matter. If I click on the location, automatically your first location will bring you to Trafalgar, which is in the heart of downtown Montreal. I'm not in downtown Montreal. I'm in Dorval, but you can zoom out. Here's my location. Your location will be shown on the map using a little purple dot here. The arrow will point to the location of the first marker. I just clicked here, so it thinks I want to put the marker there. It's gonna just click, double click, and it'll zoom in on the double click. Just gonna put it close to my position, 16 meters from my position. Then I'm gonna press save location. Notice that this is the location of downtown of Trafalgar, and this is my location. Notice that the longitude and latitude are different. I'm gonna put in another question. You can have specific answers, but you could also have open-ended questions. How does this sculpture make you feel? Question mark. I click on the image, beach wind bot. There it is. Then if you want to leave it open-ended, just don't write anything as the answer. If you put an answer in there, it will not let your students go on to the next question until they've answered it correctly. If you leave it blank, anything that they enter is considered correct. It will record what they enter so you can see it later on. I'm just gonna go and grab the location. Notice it didn't bring me to downtown this time. It brought me to where my first marker is, and it puts my second marker right on top of it. I wanna get it for testing purposes to close to 20 meters, because if your user, if the student is within 20 meters of the marker, then it goes off, then they found it. So that's my location 2. Save location. Here's a specific answer, 11.59 decimeters, and here's an open-ended question, both with location saved. Let's try that out. I'm just gonna press save changes. Let's have a student try it out. I'm gonna pretend to be a student, and I'm gonna go to the scavenger hunt page, and then I'm going to select that person as a teacher, and then I'm going to my test SH. Finding your location, this may take a few seconds. It automatically zooms them in depending on how far away they are from the marker. I'm 23 meters away. If I get to within 20, it should fire off. Let's test that out. Which has found my question. Find the length of side A, round your answer to the nearest hundredth. That's my answer, 11.59 decimeters. Then I press enter. And there's a little celebration. And then it brings you to the question 2. I need to be within 20 meters, so I'm just gonna walk. Here we are with the question. This is the open-ended one. How does this make me feel? This question makes me feel great! Exclamation point. Then I'm gonna press enter. No matter what the student enters, it's going to accept that as the right answer because it was an open-ended question. So the student gets a little bit of feedback once they've finished. They're being told that they've finished the scavenger hunt. It tells them the time it took them to finish it. Let's go and look at the teacher results. Go to the results, A list of all my students will appear here, and then you can go and look at individual results. So if I look at that student, we can see here's the open-ended question and here's the result. So whatever the student responds, their response is recorded. We can see they responded 11.59 decimeters for the first question, which matched one of these answers. And for the open-ended question, this question makes me feel great. We have their score. They answered 2 correct on 2 questions, that's 100%, and the time it took them was 2 minutes, 13 seconds in total. Let's go, if I go to the scavenger hunt page, and then if I go to all the scavenger hunts. So here's all my scavenger hunts. There's a lot of different things that we can do. You can delete scavenger hunts. When you delete a scavenger hunt, it also deletes all the student records. Let's say I wanted to delete this one to here, and just click delete. It'll ask, you sure you want to delete this? Yes. And then it's deleted. A couple of things about the images. You can put in static images, you can put in animated GIFs. You're limited 2 megabytes is the maximum size. When you get the image, it appears it's not going to be any bigger than 250 pixels high on this page, but on the student's page, it can be anywhere up until its actual size, or if it's bigger than 500 pixels high, it'll maximize it at 500 pixels high. Save as. Let's say you made a scavenger hunt, but it's very specific to the school. You have all your locations around the school, but then you have a student that's at home. You decided to make a scavenger hunt just for that student, but with the same questions. You can do that. You can just go to your scavenger hunt and you can save as. Just rename it, scavenger hunt visited, and then save as. Here we are in the My Test SH redone. It's identical to the first one. You would just presumably change the location. You can change the location to wherever you like. Zoom out, I'm just pinching to zoom out, or you can use the little zoom out button like that. And then you could make your scavenger hunt in Laval if you like. We save the location. If you double click, it'll zoom into that spot. You have about a 20-meter margin of error on this. Be careful around buildings. You don't want your students to have to break into buildings to get your scavenger hunt solved. Save location, and there you go. The number of questions you can ask as many questions as you like. Every time you save a question, it makes up a new question space for you. You can make them as large as you like. You can delete individual questions. If I made a new question instead, select image, got an animated GIF of a slinky, and the answer is slinky or a slinky going down the stairs. I mean, you can put as many as you like. And if I wanted to delete a question, I could just click on delete a question. It shows you the question you're deleting, and then you can just say, yes, I want to delete it, or no, I don't. If you run into trouble, send me an email. There are help videos here that explain each page. You can delete the whole thing from here. You can go to the scavenger hunt page. You can see the results. You can save as, or you can go back to the math programs from here. That is it for the scavenger hunt program. Have a good day.